Mitchell's gourmet meats are an excellent example. Developed and produced in Saskatoon and enjoyed across North America, it's a premium product for special occasions to everyday meals. But Now You're Cooking also lets you meet the companies that create these products and the stories and people behind them. Mitchell's Gourmet Meats is just the most recent line in a long, proud tradition at Intercontinental Packers, a Saskatchewan landmark for over 50 years. So we met with Fred Mitchell, president of Intercon, to learn a little bit more about the company. His family founded it in 1940, and he's the third generation to run it. We asked him why his grandfather, Fred Mendel, chose Saskatoon as the site.
And it was the war years, and he wanted to get out of Europe. And this was the only plant. He had a lot of business in the States and in Australia. But this was the only plant that was available in Canada. A friend of his in Washington, D.C. actually was looking for plants. And he said, you know, there's one in Saskatoon. And he says, where's that? You know, he says, Saskatchewan, you know, where's that? Canada, you know, oh, Canada. He said, yeah, and he told him that, you know, it was all there was. And
Well, it sounds like your grandfather, Fred Mendel, had a choice between either Canada or the United States.
well, he didn't want to go into the States. He preferred Canada. And he kind of really didn't have a lot of choice, but I think he was very happy to find a place.
But the early years had their challenges.
He had made the world's first canned hams and exported them from Europe. He made the first canned hams in Australia, and the United States was his main customer, and England. He came to Canada hoping to continue to manufacture those hams and export them mainly to the Midwest and East Coast markets of the United States. The war broke out with the United States and the Axis powers, and his entire production was geared to these canned hams, and they put an embargo on any canned hams into the United States. And these were specialty hams. They had no market in Canada. They were strictly for U.S. export. And suddenly he found himself high and dry. And he thought that he was, as he put it, kaput. And ironically, the Bacon for Britain program started. Bacon for Britain actually, in fact, represented sides of pork that were cured and wrapped in burlap and smoked and sent over for the troops and the civilians as well to feed the English. And there was one rail spur that was put through Saskatoon. And my grandfather was not the first option on the rail spur, but the competitor declined to have the rail spur because he didn't want to support the Bacon for Britain program. So my grandfather got the war contract, the rail spur, and for the next 6 years, his entire production was for the export market.
What's your name? Is your name good, then everything.